From the heart of Melbourne, Thomas, Yvonne, Scott and Kale make up Olympic White, a band with a unique sound described as having proud, unapologetic Australian indie rock roots, with listener-friendly tones of pop and rock. They blur the lines of genres with music full of reflective lyrics and groovy rhythms. Olympic White will be performing one of their tracks soon, but they're going to be joining me first for a chat. Welcome to the show, guys. Thanks for coming on.
Thanks for having us.
So just a bit of a background. How did Olympic White come together as a band, and how would you describe your sound?
Thomas and another guy, Wes, started the band a little while ago, maybe 3 years ago. Wes is no longer in it now, but Yvonne and Thomas met somewhere at a gig, maybe.
Yeah.
I knew Wes previously, and then after, me and Thomas actually went to high school together, but didn't know it.
There you go.
But that's pretty much how it happened, and we met locally because Wes and Thomas met at a local gig as well.
Yeah.
So there wasn't any specific thing that happened.
Yeah, we didn't sit down and go, let's make a band. It just kind of happened.
Yeah,
We did go to Pancake Parlour though, remember that?
we did, yeah.
That's how all great bands start. Yeah.
Yeah, over pancakes.
Played a bit of tennis too.
Yeah.
There you go. Whatever works, I guess. So what's the process like creating music together as a band? Like, is there sort of, do you guys ever clash with different styles or take turns in how you write? How does it work?
We mix it up a bit, don't we? It's usually Thomas who comes up with most of the stuff, but we always flesh
Like
out
the
our
bare
own,
bones.
Yeah, we always flesh out our own parts and add our own little take to it. Yeah, it's tricky though because we rehearse in Tom's place, and whenever we sort of get there, we always think, we want to go play tennis instead. So actually staying there is the tricky part.
It's hard.
But yeah, we usually manage to pull our stuff together eventually.
Yeah. Well, I mean, speaking of music, you've just released your debut self-titled album, so somehow you pulled that together, which is on November 11 it was released. So what was the process like creating it? Again, was it just kind of throw everything together? Was there a theme behind it? How did it start?
It was a little bit because the album was recorded in different sessions because at the start I wasn't in the band, there was another drummer, so he's recorded 3 of the tracks.
Oh, okay.
Then a friend of mine recorded another 3, and then I've recorded the rest. But Yvonne is on it, Kale's not on it, Thomas is on it. It's like a real mismatch.
Yeah.
Made over COVID as well,
Yeah, well, that's
Yeah.
why. That's what I was going to say, because it's COVID. It was real weird. Yeah.
Would have thrown a spanner in the works, yeah.
Yeah, so it might not be noticeable, but there's a few different musicians that aren't in the band now on
Right.
there. Yeah.
Oh.
The themes are all very similar all the way through though. It's all pretty positive music, which
Yeah.
is what because actually when I first met Tom, he came up, I think he said he was looking for a bass player and I was like, oh, that's a shame I don't play bass. And then he showed me his
That's
band.
not what you said, but yeah.
Oh, I said, oh yeah, that's something.
You'd said you'd fill in.
Yeah,
if we
no,
needed
you asked me to fill in, I was like, nah, stuff that. And then I went home and listened to that stuff and I was like, this is really good. So I gave him a call straight after and I was like, oh, I play bass. And he goes, too bad we found another bass player.
So what happened?
Yeah, something like that.
Jeez.
And then the bass player, left or something and came together eventually. But yeah, it's positive
Yeah.
music and I
Yeah.
think that's, especially, after the last couple of years we had, it's what we need right now, hey.
Yeah. So is there sort of different styles that you want to experiment with next at all, or?
Yeah, I think the next, because we're actually working on more new songs coming up, and I think that's really us very much glued together. Like the first album, there's a lot of different kind of styles in there, but I think towards the end of recording our first album, we found our own sound. And I guess bands always go through that thing of, where do we start? But after playing together for a while, you find your thing. And we've been playing heaps of gigs and stuff as well, and it's all gelling very naturally now, I reckon.
The newer stuff's probably a little bit heavier.
Okay. Yeah.
Probably not heavy enough for Kale. Kale wants it real heavy. But
I mean, who knows,
could
down the
be
track,
heavier.
maybe.
Limp
Mix
Bizkit's
it up a
number 1
bit.
fan.
yeah, Limp Bizkit.
So, yeah, who are your musical influences? You've just mentioned Limp Bizkit. Are there any other sort of ones that stand out?
Mine's probably Southern
What are
River
your
Band
real
and
ones?
Long Boys.
Oh, yeah.
What are the real ones?
Mine.
You're the songwriter? Yeah.
Well, what's yours first?
Well, I mean, mine don't affect the sound of the band.
Come on,
really.
what's your favourite?
Well, that doesn't matter.
Come on,
Like,
mate.
You're songwriter. You're
The question's been
songwriting.
asked.
Yeah.
Wait, you going?
No, you go.
One of my faves is probably The Strokes.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Bit of a wide variety there. Got a bit of everything, yeah.
Yeah.
So you got some pretty good, cool things coming up then, it sounds like. So if we want to keep up with you, where do we find you on social media?
Yeah,
Instagram.
Instagram's probably the best place to go.
Yeah.
Olympic White official.
Spotify.
Spotify and Instagram is
Olympic White.
our main stuff.
the Facebooks, everything.
All of the above.
Yeah,
Olympic White official on Facebook.
yeah.
I think. No, just Olympic White.
That's all right. Yeah. We'll make sure to keep
Yeah, one of
track
my
what
mates is
you're up to.
Australia's first ever influencer, so we're making our way there.
One day. So, thanks for joining us on the show today for